and welcome everyone to our second Social Justice Research Symposium. Today's symposium is entitled Liberation from Colonialism Now, Promoting Research Activism. So my name is Jude Burkham. I'm the chair of the PsyD program at Antioch in Seattle. First, I just really want to thank all of you for taking the time and your intention and energy and curiosity in learning about these really, I think, important and imperative topics that we're going to talk about. Second, I really want to just take a moment to deeply honor my collaboration with Dean and Kate. We have been collaborating for probably 4 or 5 years now. It has been sort of a womb for me, an intellectual and heartfelt womb, if you will, in really kind of digging into these issues of colonialism and liberation. And it's made a big impact on my own life, both professional and personal. And I think that's some of the magic in this kind of topic, is looking at the different parts of ourselves and being able to decolonize parts and liberate parts. I also want to acknowledge the really important work and mentorship of Dr. Melissa Kennedy. Dr. Kennedy joined our Decoloniality and Social Privilege Initiative research lab at Antioch, Seattle a couple of years ago, and has done some very deep mentorship and guidance of the student first 2 presentations that you're going to see today. Dean and Kate and I are going to each read a little piece of writing that we've done just to prepare and contextualize what we're all going to learn today. So for this one, I'll be reading, and forgive me, I'll be looking off here because I've got 2 giant screens because I can't really see very well. So, all right, with that suspenseful drum roll, I will start reading my piece. So for the past few decades, in our pursuit of physician parity, our field of clinical psychology has adopted the model. There are many strengths and possibilities of this model, including a wider reach and better access to our psychological services in primary healthcare settings. But what is lost? The medical model and much of clinical psychology is focused on the individual in alignment with Western norms, emphasizes an internalized origin of pathology. There is something in me as an individual that is not functioning, normal, or healthy. This approach does not take into account the concentric circles of family, community, and societal forces that shape us. As social psychology established, our behaviors under stress and influence are not in alignment with our claimed morals or values. We are different than we think we are, and we are shaped by external forces. In fact, our attempts at research activism directly challenge the hegemonic norms of the academy and of our professional field. Moving further out of the norm, we seldom take historical forces into account. We exercise a type of complicit amnesia regarding the power of history upon our shared philosophies, morals, and structures of self and relationships. Decolonization has been an increasingly popular term in the past few years. And at its basic level, this concept involves the persistent acknowledgement of our shared colonial history, the real consequences that privilege some and oppress others, and the moves towards reparations. Indigenous peoples encourage us not to dilute the term into a meaningless metaphor. As a research collaboration, we have been interested in the impacts of historical forces on clinical psychology since 2017. Specifically, our labs, collaborating since 2019, have been exploring the real legacy of historical colonization on our mind stream, our identities, relationships. We have adopted a principle that acts and consequences of historical colonization, which have been purposely whitewashed from our shared history, have lasting and pervasive impacts on our contemporary lives in the here and now. The colonial mentality that lives on in the way that we conceptualize, train, and practice clinical psychologists. It offers an alternative view from the internalized, individualized pathology of the medical model, one that is shared and based in the reality of the past. In this symposium, we have been gifted with the work of bright, courageous, and committed students pursuing the reconciliation of colonial forces with the healing potential of our shared art and science of psychology. They call on us to shed our historical amnesia and wrest the truth of contemporary colonial mindset rampant in our field. They offer us an inspiration to revision and reimagine a psychology that is aligned with the truth of the past and the hope of the future. So with that, thank you for your patience as I'm bouncing in and out. I am very excited to introduce the first presentation with Cynthia and Jack, entitled Decoloniality in the Study and Practice of Psychology, a faculty-student collaboration. This presentation will provide an overview of coloniality and examples of how collaboration between faculty and students, as well as intentional curricular design, can undo the legacy of coloniality in psychology, training, and research. So with that, I'll hand it off to our first presenters.